Guys, okay. It's here. It's here. It's here. Listen, it's here. It's here. It's here. Listen. Okay. So, listen. When I first shot this video today, I had a couple interruptions, but they were okay interruptions. I had a girlfriend break, so I had to pause the recording. I had a little dog barking break that I was like, shut up. Sorry about that. Sorry. I'm trying to be funny. Like I said, my word is bond, so eventually this video would end up getting out. I feel bad because, I searched through all my notes and I can't find any moments I wrote down from the story, but I pulled a few memories when I first shot the first version of this video. I pulled a few memories back and tried to collect some. So overall, I'm just going to talk about the feeling and just the moments I remember and also the ending, which I still is kind of fresh in my mind because obviously this is the last thing. Also, I told a funny joke in the beginning about how don't get on me like the one guy got on me for the video when I was nitpicking the certain differences from the animated campaign 1 to the episode that I watched. And I wasn't being serious. Like, I realized it's 4-hour, damn near 4-hour sessions translated into like a 20-minute episode. I get it. I feel like somebody sensible would get I was not being dead ass, but it's okay. So I'm really high energy right now because it's actually funny. I'm more energy right now than I was in the last recording. In the last recording, I was messing stuff up all over the place. I was like, damn, this is going to be a bad video because I don't have anything planned. But I also said in the video, chaos must reign. What am I known for? I'm Lunar. Chaos must reign. So we're still going to do this off the top of the dome. And wow, right off the bat, something is already missing. So I deleted this. I don't know why I would do that. Let me restore it. Like I said, I pulled this art from just the Critical Role wiki of the characters. But yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, my campaign 2 wrap up of like my feelings, yada yada. There's obviously going to be spoilers, so be careful about watching. Why are you watching this? It's what I felt about campaign 2. But now, so I would just like to start to set like the whole scene for everything we're about to go into, what I'm about to talk about. I kind of want to get into that squat resting position, so let me smack my mic. We'll sit like this for a little bit. Actually, it's a deeper squat. Okay, I kind of am cheating because I'm resting my back, but campaign 2 was a ride of a lifetime. Not just watching it, but the amazing community that I built alongside watching it and people enjoying my takes on stuff. And I absolutely loved it. And I still appreciate all of you. Like, I think it's funny because I'm someone who thinks about like, I call it like the tactician mindset. I think about like I don't let my thoughts rule me, but I think about so many things just that have piled up over the last year. And I just think about how grateful I really am for everyone who has hung out with me through the experience and the people I still talk to now, the friends I've made through just D&D and Critical, like watching campaign 2 in general and Critical Role. It's just awesome. And yeah, and I also am really proud of myself for taking a break too, to let everything be fresh also. So campaign 2 is something I would definitely rewatch, and I haven't watched a lot of campaign 3, so I can't wait to watch that because I've been having this feeling of just like unwinding on certain nights and just tapping back into that after I'm done with a lot of shooting, because just, as I continue to grow, just more and more requests keep coming through for videos. So like it kind of led me off the D&D wave, but trust me, it's still a lot of love in my heart for D&D, and I want to play a session. And I'm still deep down, I'm making characters in my mind and doing all of it because, man, it will never. D&D is literally one of the best things I've discovered, and I know it's going to play a huge role later in my life and probably soon. You never know what's coming on your path. I'm just following the wave now, but yeah, campaign 2 was literally the best to start with. I personally think I'm glad I started here. There was some things up, like different feelings with which campaign I should have started with, stuff like that. But I feel like campaign 2 was the best place to start because like by this point, like by campaign 1, they were still learning to play and things like that, and which is all still cool to witness and see. But I've also liked how a little bit more unhinged they are in campaign 1. Still haven't watched it all. And that is, like I said, my word is bond, and I did say, like, and that's still true. If I continue, I have not watched another episode until I record it. Like, I will, if I continue that series, every single episode will be recorded and edited down. But definitely, I just took a pause on that because of everything else I've been doing. But back to campaign 2, literally, I'm so glad I started with it. And I just felt like everything was so good about campaign 2. There was the moments that, of course, you know, I thought were a bit crazy how they played out, sometimes corny, but for the most part, setting the scene, this thing, like, literally, I feel like changed apart. It, like, changed. It was cool because that's what, you know, storytelling does, the different morals, the different paths and lines that the characters take in a broader, you just would not expect to learn this much from a literal game with best friends. But at the same time, you would, because it's almost like it's so much storytelling and just, I cannot suck it off enough with how magnificent literally watching all of that was as fast as I did. Bro, I could not stop. I was literally watching that day and night. Oh my gosh, in between work, like, it's insane. In between play, let me not call it work, because nothing feels like a job, but yeah. So, anyways, let's get on to the characters. I'm going to do this way faster than I did the other video. Hey, I'm at 6 minutes. That's where I finally continued the video in the last one. I guess I have this weird thing with timing. But, yeah, okay, so in the last video I shot, it was like roughly 6-7 minutes when I actually got into the video and started talking about the characters. So, yes, I talked for like 20 minutes and then deleted the footage. But we're going to get into this way quicker. So, this is after Molly is not in the picture anymore. Like I said, I'll keep it short for liking the character so we can get right into whatever else with the story itself. Boom. So, Molly Muck. Didn't really like Molly Muck. Kind of expected Molly to die, but I still like the character. The character was really well done, and I really like how Matt tied in Molly for the end, which it wasn't technically Molly at the end. It was Lucian, and then it was really cool, and Matt did the accent way better than Taliesin. I'm just kidding. Taliesin tried, but it was funny when he was getting clowned for it. But Lucian was a fucking awesome character. Awesome. I liked how he acted. I liked that he literally could have, like, killed the group, but there was something about him. It was just dope. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But Molly, meh. Molly was okay. And yeah, moving on from Molly. Sorry, Molly. See you bottom of the tier list. Now, next character up. Since I'm gonna, should I follow with the same as how I did in the last video I just recorded? Maybe I should start with the same characters. No, you know what? Let's get the characters out the way. Beauregard, because I started with not before. Beauregard. Beauregard. People are not going to like this one. I didn't really like Beauregard either. Now, I know it's like I can't say it and then not elaborate, but in other videos, I kind of have elaborated a little bit. I'm not using that as a cop-out, but if I want to just move through them, I'll say that Beauregard was definitely a cool character and enjoyable. Also, I really wished to see, like, Beauregard being blessed by a certain, like, by the god that the Cobalt Soul believes in. That would have been cool. I think it was it Ithun or something like that? I'm trying to recall it from memory. I do not memorize the gods that well. But, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, because like in one picture, see, like she kind of had like, it looked like in some pictures, or one of them that I found, she had like a glow to her eyes and stuff like that, or like some like soul energy, and that would have been really cool if Matt tied in like the whole their god that they believed in, kind of chose Beauregard. That'd be cool. But I guess there'd be too many god chosen people in the party. But that would have been really cool if Marisha wrote Beauregard like that, or Matt did a whole twist where like Marisha didn't see it coming. That would have been sick. That would have been really sick. But Marisha played Beauregard really well. And yeah, they all played their character really well. So let me get that out the way. They all did. But as for just like, there was a moment with Beauregard that we'll talk about later when I come back to like moments that happened that just did not make sense to me for her character. It just didn't feel like it made sense, and I know you guys probably know if we're not intuitively. Well, you did intuitively know, but if we're psychically connected right now, you probably know what moment I'm talking about. Yeah, I just part that made me, and I watched it live when that part happened, and I was kind of like, I'm not sure about this one, but nonetheless, Beauregard was definitely cool, and I like the little pop. There's a lot of good moments with Beauregard, and as all of them, I could literally just say it for all of them. Not. Should we have to not? Let's have to Yasha. You know what? Let's have to Yasha and say it. I also like how Yasha and Beauregard ended up together. Very cute, very dope relationship, and Caleb being like the best wingman. Like, oh man, that was a cool moment. But see, now I'm getting into moments, so I gotta be careful. Yasha was a dope character. The whole ASMR, the fallen angel. Oh my gosh, the wings, bro. Yasha was one of the coolest characters to me. And every time they made metal jokes, like, cause Yasha's metal, but Yasha was great as well. And I did the whole orphan maker and the whole backstory in the line. Yeah, Yasha was pretty solid. It was like a lot of the backstories too were like really simple, of course, like kind of simple and complex at the same time. But Yasha's was like okay, I would say Yasha's was okay, and Beauregard's was too. It's like kind of playing into the whole that event. That event is the one thing where I'll have to come back to, but I'm probably not even gonna cover it that long in this because I would be talking your ear off. But I guess again, I would say I liked all their backstories, but I'll just say my favorites at the end. I know my favorites are already guessed. I know they're already guessed. So yeah, Yasha was dope. The design of Yasha, very cool. Beauregard and Yasha ending up together, very fucking adorable. That was awesome. And two badasses I wonder what the badass child would come out to be. Also, like another thing too is I forgot how far Campaign 3 takes place after this. I've been told before, but I can't remember. But I would love to see so many more references to their group. It's just like the Mighty Nine was just so cool. Like, yeah. And I don't know if they were like, when you say someone's like the unsung hero, it's like the hero who saved the day, but their tale isn't told. Was the Mighty Nine that? Like, they saved the world without anyone ever knowing what they did, but at least they knew it in their hearts? Like, I can't remember if that's how it ended or people did know what they did. But I hope some of that comes back to play in Campaign 3. Like, we get more references to them. That'd be fucking dope. Or the people that they met along the way, like Orly. But it takes place in a completely different, like, country of the world, right? Yeah. Anyways, it takes place in Marquette right now. But anyways, back to the characters. Jester, and then we'll go Jester and Ford. So Jester and Ford. Jester was chaos, man. I think Jester was my favorite from the girls. Kind of on the line with Not. I really enjoyed Not, but I think I love Jester the most, and out of the relationships too, Jester and Ford just gotta win it for me. But Jester was a cool character. Loved her mom, the Ruby of the Sea. Just like the whole line with Jester and the Traveler, and that was just so cool. That was so cool. And we'll talk about moments after because I want to get into moments so fast. Again, like the design of Jester, the blue little tiefling, and the whole gentleman thing. Oh, it's so cool. It's such a cool storyline. Or like, it was insane. No, that was just crazy. But hopping over to Ford, hands down my favorite character. Ford and Caduceus really rival each other in favorites. Like, I would say, it's too many. It's too many. I don't like putting a favorite if I had to choose one because I can't, because they're all really good, especially between Caduceus, Ford, and Caleb. Like, those three, But Ford, his storyline to me, just because I connected with Ford so much, was hands down the coolest storyline. The coolest storyline. With Ukatoa and the whole like being some deep sea serpent, and like I always called it like some Eldritch Cthulhu thing, but nonetheless so cool. And then becoming the Wild Mother Paladin, oh my gosh, and then lifting the accent, which I still wish he said Eldritch Blast. I wish he kept the old accent really, but it was like the whole growth from Vandrin. And then I think Travis didn't even like the accent from what I remember in one of the talks Machina. He wanted to change the accent, but I wish he didn't go British, man, or true English. Let me not say British, but true English. And yeah, I just man, I missed the whole Eldritch Blast. I felt like Ford was such a but Travis delivered some cold lines in there in the battles. So Ford was cool. The storyline was cool. We'll get into moments there. Since we go to Ford, I guess we'll go to Caleb, since Ford and Caleb's relationship. Then we'll hop to Caduceus, and then not. Or no, I'll have to hop to not. I feel like that feels right. Okay, Caleb's storyline, very cool. People want to see me cosplay Caleb. They want to see me as Caduceus, Caleb, or Ford. More Caduceus over Caleb. So I'll just say Caduceus and Ford. Those two biggest things. My girlfriend, if I go Ford, she's got to do Jester. It'd be awesome. Little blue tiefling, and it fits because like I think Jester's like 5 foot. My girlfriend's like 5 foot, so that'd be perfect. But Ford, one thing I love about. Oh, I didn't even talk about Ford's design, and I'm on Caleb, but Ford's armor in the character art reminds me so much of like things that you see in like the Last Kingdom, but a bit more royal and updated, which that's why I want to rock like a set of that. It'd be just awesome. As for going back to Caleb was so clean. Liam played him so well. I could just say they all played their characters so well, but Caleb had so many dope ass moments that I cannot even like. They all did, but Caleb, something in my mind is making me think Caleb just came through with some of them walls of fire, man. And like in the different spells for the situation, he got them out of some pickles, man. Liam's ability just to play the character so crafty and still play the character to their to the personality of the character and make decisions based on what the character would do were great. Speaking of that, Sam is definitely one for that throughout the whole thing. But it was great. Caleb was awesome. Was I? Oh yeah, I was off of Ford. Damn, something made me want to come back to Ford. But Ford's decisions too had some pretty Caduceus. Since we're on to Caduceus now, well, I said I would go to not actually because Caleb. So I'll have to not. But Caduceus had some pretty get you out of a pickle moments too. Holy moly, not okay. So not turning into Veth, so dope. And I mentioned this in the last video I recorded for this, but here we are now in this one. I'll just stop mentioning that. Just know there was a video before this that I just ended up scrapping and saying, you know what, rather do this. During the live show, when Sam pretended to have a new voice after emerging as Veth, bro, I wish he would have stuck with that voice. I was so hyped. That got me so hyped. But it was a whole joke in the playing on Ford switching up his voice when the new evolution of Ford. But I really wish that Sam kept that voice for Not, now better known as Veth. But yeah, that hit so crazy. And this isn't even actually an updated photo of how they last looked, because Ford had the captain's hat, had the tricorn and stuff. And yeah, maybe I'll find a picture right now while I'm talking about Not, it was just so sick. Like it was such a sick voice, and I actually enjoyed a lot of Not's moments throughout. Like Sam was being a troll here and there with Veth, and Veth, one of the biggest things was not using the was it a half was Veth a halfling, was it? Like Orm? If it's a halfling? What was it? Was it a half elf? Not a half. Was that a half elf? Where am I getting halfling from? But using the half. Oh, no, it's not a half elf. Wait, is it? Guys, I'm forgetting the races. Oh my gosh, I need you guys. I'm forgetting. Well, whatever it was, not using like the reroll thing, getting to like reroll. Was it reroll ones? That was crazy. But aside from all the trolling Sam did as not in Veth, it was Not's backstory. I think one of my top out of the characters. I love the backstory behind Not. I love the relationship between her and her husband. It was really good. Now, and there's some moments with a certain Minotaur and other things like that we'll get into a little bit later, but I'll try to sum them up pretty fast because I don't want this video to be way too long. But Caduceus. So we got Caleb. Oh yeah, Caleb and Not traveling together, all that great stuff in their story summed up in 1 second. That was amazing too. Caduceus. When Caduceus came in, I was like, man, this should have been Talos' character from the beginning. Nah, everything happens for a reason. Everything works out how it does. I feel like Talos killed it as Caduceus. Caduceus was one of the coolest characters to come in. He had such like a nonchalant way of going about not giving a fuck. Oh, talking about personality. I should have said that. No, we can run through. I'll try to do it fast. I probably won't do it accurate. But yeah, he had a nonchalant way about like not giving a fuck. And I just love the whole family dynamic between him and his family, and just the grove, and everything was cool about Caduceus. And the outfit, colors, very cool. And then me and him rocking the same gauges. Like I have the same exact gauges in real life. Those red spirals. That's another reason people want to see me cosplay Caduceus, which might actually happen. You know, I don't know if Caduceus's flowy hair is a hawk like mine. Plus my hawk isn't locks or anything like that. So, or any twist yet. It's not that long, but nice flowing pink wig. I could pull that off. Big little what race is Caduceus? What is it? Furball. Nice little furball ears. And yeah, Caduceus was definitely my favorite character, one of my favorite characters. I think Ford, if it had to be out of all of them, Ford is going to be number one, of course. The Ukatoa stuff was just so cool. But yeah, okay, we're gonna do a little pause so I can get some stuff together for the moments I'm about to talk about. But as for personalities, not stealing things, oh my gosh. Not, I would say, shifty, Beauregard. Badass asshole, Yasha. Hardcore metal. Caduceus. Calm, not slick. These descriptions are horrible. Jester, chaos. Ford, suave. Caleb, edgy. Molly Muck, flamboyant. I don't know if I did a good job there, but yeah, okay, now we will pause and we will come back. I will be back. Okay, so now I'm back. This art is by Ariana Orner, and I pulled both images from the Critical Role wiki. So yeah, shout out to that. Images may be subject to copyright, as they tell you. So yeah, shout out to the artist. No means by stealing any of the artwork, but here were the images I needed. So this is, I'm pretty sure, how they ended in the story too, because this was the winter look, but I'm pretty sure if there was a wrap up one, it'd probably look a tad bit different. I wonder if Ford would keep the old beard. Oh man. But yeah, okay. Caduceus let the hair down. Okay. So now I think, did I say we would get on to moments? Okay. Is this actually that I should have taken care of beforehand, but it's okay. Okay. And Veth, we got a little Veth. Okay, so some honorable mentions are like Essek Thalos. Essek Thickless. Essek Thalos was one of the fucking coolest NPCs Matt played in this entire campaign. Aside from Essek, there's Orly. There are also Keyleth's mom. There's the other people of Vokodo, or Vokodo Island. Was that what it was called? Oh man, so many characters that I don't really remember too well. But as soon as someone started to describe them, I'd be able to just call them quickly. Some of Beauregard's other Cobalt Soul monks were pretty cool. Yeah, they was just cool. So shout out to all NPCs that were super sick. The ones that come to mind are just, I think Marius and Orly were big on me. Essek was another big one that I just love to joke on. Essek, if you're familiar with me joking on Essek. Almost sounded like I said choking on Essek. Don't get a dirty mind. But yeah. Let's talk about moments. I don't even know where to go. Let's talk about moments and let's just wrap it up. Let's just have a nice chill, sit back with the art on the screen. Okay. Moments. So I know people are probably gonna want me to mention the beginning of the story with the whole circus and everything like that. For that being pretty crazy and a cool like introduction into the story, it wasn't really too wildly impactful for me. It was like kind of like a generic but cool start, and it was kind of chaotic. But a lot of the bigger moments really did come from later as the campaign got deeper. It definitely like got cooler, especially when like the whole siding with the dynasty. Wait, it was the Kryn dynasty and the Empire. So how Matt was like, oh, he thought the whole political war going on would only be a background for the campaign, but it ended up being like the forefront. If that's what I can remember. That, and he didn't even expect them to choose a side, which I wonder what would have happened if they didn't choose a side. But it was cool because I actually just got done finishing up the last kingdom, and it really reminded me of how, well, spoilers real quick to anyone who hasn't seen The Last Kingdom, but Uhtred of Bebbanburg basically fights for Saxons and Danes, for like Vikings and Christians. So it really reminded me of that. Spoilers over. But it really reminded me of that because I just finished it and I was like, wow. And then they kind of stayed in the middle of literally being able to play kind of both sides and keeping the peace. It's pretty wild. Or illusion of peace. Yeah, I don't really know. Voice is starting to go, but I thought that was a really cool thing too. And that was a big moment for Caleb. Caleb came out and saved their cheeks by pulling out the the dodecahedron in front of the queen. Oh, the queen was one of the best characters, man. The best characters. Oh, one day, I think I should... Oh, no, maybe I should do this another time. I wanted to kind of announce in the video that if you hear any background noise, just ignore it. But I should really just sit live and talk about the moments of campaign too, and then add that in a video. I could do that a day. So I'll put it out there for if it becomes a thing, but it'd be fun to sit with you guys and actually talk about the moments, because it'd be cool when you guys bring up the moments, then I'll be able to like basically recall this stuff. But all the stuff in Uthadurn, it was just really great. It was just overall the story was really fun to follow, and I definitely would follow it again. I thought one of the coolest things was Caleb putting together the cast, like the whole the spell is called something mansion from what I'm remembering, but how he designed it to like, was it 9 floors of the tower and everything, and like he went into so much detail, and like it was funny because the joke was like, or not the joke, but he like became the dungeon master for that part of the episode, really going into detail with the details that he was slowly collecting from each of the other players too. Freaking amazing. It was just so well done. It was such an awesome thing to experience, and I always say this, I'm glad that I experienced it when I did, but I know experiencing campaign 2 live would have been way different. The moment I was referring to earlier where I was like, oh, Beauregard kind of, I didn't think it matched her character, was the part with the cupcake. Or not, well, that's Jester's part, but where they met the hag or whatever that thing was in the shack. I can't remember what her name was, but that entity that just fed on like the suffering of people. When Beauregard was going to leave the group in a bit, I did not get that. Didn't make me feel like it was to the character. But what you gonna do, right? I didn't feel like that, but yeah. Aside from that, though, where are we at? Jester and the cupcake moment, crazy. Really made me realize anything can happen in D&D. That was so awesome. When Laura was, I sprinkle the dust of deliciousness or whatever, and it like gives like a negative debuff to like, what was it, intelligence or wisdom rolls? Like, bro, sick moment, really sick moment. There's a lot. The altar with Caleb and Ford, when they almost caused the sea, like the tsunamis and sea storms, because like after they fought that little being down there, they like that one that was of the legends, like the blood on the altar. Like they didn't know what it did and stuff like that. That was really cool too, and that was a really like a brother moment between Caleb and Ford. That shit was sick. They became blood brothers in that moment. There's a lot of moments with Caduceus too, like Caduceus like successfully getting the whole that one roll where you use the percentile dice. Oh, divine intervention, and oh man, that just was really cool. Like. There's so many moments that I can talk about. Yasha leaving the group was insane because like Ashley having to record in between, but how they did it, or like how certain moments lined up so well. Yeah, there's just so many great ones. Like I wouldn't be able to name them all. Ford was the best to follow for me personally. I liked his growth. I liked the search for Vandrin. I liked the whole calling on the Wild Mother to help him deal with the whole Ukatoa stuff, and like Ukatoa's people coming in. Did Ford die twice to them? Like, oh, it was just cool. It just threw the whole game into a panic, and like one episode started like off where Ford died, and like they had to save him, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like there were so many clenching moments. Another big one for me was the church. The church fight was so dope when they basically went to fight was it Oban and the Laughing Hand, and it was cool. Like the Laughing Hand was almost like grateful for his release of like that control on him. That was so cool. Like they were the champions of the certain gods, and then also what was it, the left hand, the right hand? What was her name? But the assassin, who was also like the champion of a certain, of like, was it the Spider Queen? I can't remember. But that was really sick too, where she came in and helped them a little bit, and then like kind of gave them like a middle finger at the end of the battle, because she had that kind of hard exterior to her ego, but she disappeared. That was a really cool thing too. But I remember having a conversation about like the speculation that she may be causing certain things in campaign 3 or like something like that. Don't know, but she was a really cool character too. Oban was cool too, but yeah, that whole thing was sick. That whole thing was crazy. What else are we getting at? All of Yasha and the Stormlord stuff was absolutely fire. One of the biggest things I can remember is her fighting the energy moat on the boat, and like they could only see like a sprite, like an energy sprite, but to Yasha, it was appearing as like one of the Stormlord's champions. That was a really crazy moment. There's just so many. Like back at where was it? Oh, back at whatchamacallit. What the heck is the name? With the pirate, where it was like the pirate docks. What was it called? The pirate docks. What were they called? No, what were they called? Wait. Let me see. Let me pause and see so I don't waste time. I got it. Okay. So I ended up looking it up. Avantika. All the stuff with Avantika and Darktoe. All the stuff with Avantika and Darktoe were literally insane. Those, so sick. That was really cool. Oh my gosh. In Hot Water, man. All of that was what was it called? Was he called the Plank King? What was it? Let me snarky, confident, and astute. Yeah, man, Avantika, bruh. All the stuff with the Ruby of the Sea. It's just so much. Avantika coming back was crazy, bruh. Like when Avantika told Ford, "Oh, I see you like got some new tricks and blah blah blah." Man, that was so dope because a lot of the moments too were dope for me because I called a lot of the stuff that happened. Not a lot, but a lot of the stuff that happened. Like I was like, oh, like at one episode I thought it was Avantika coming back. So when it happened, I was like, oh, this was the moment I was talking about, but it didn't happen. Then when we got later into the episodes and she came back, I was like, holy shit, I was right. I was like, my mind was blown. It was really good. Okay. May have not have been a good idea to record this long because I got to preserve my voice for other videos tomorrow. But honestly, that pretty much does wrap it up. I really enjoyed the campaign, and I really enjoyed everybody that stuck with me through the path. And yeah, man. I actually did a video on this. Reaction or review the Song of Lorelei. Oh, wow. I did do that. I didn't even realize I put a video of it. The Song of Lorelei was really good. I like to watch that back here and there when they were... I won't spoil it. You go and watch it. But for the most part, there's so many moments I can continue to talk about. I've had so many favorite moments where like Ford threw the sword into the forge when they were on their way to Uthadern. I don't remember the spot they were at, but they were like outside Uthadern. I loved him getting the new blade. I loved Caduceus collecting the pieces of the blade. I loved the whole battle with Trent and Cathon at the end, how he was just nonchalantly throwing their stuff to the side like he didn't give a fuck, like nothing was harming him, like, and how they condemned him to a hell basically at the end. But just all of it was great. Just sick, very sick. It was really great. And yeah, maybe I do like a follow-up. Maybe I do a video follow-up, like with talking about the moments with all of you. That'd be a really cool video. And yeah, I'll put it out there. I'm not gonna say 100% that I'll do it, but if there's like a time I'm live and everyone pops in and is like, yo, let's talk about the moments today or something like that, and we got enough people, maybe we'll do it. But other than that, this is my wrap up of campaign 2. It was really sick. There's so many moments, and I really don't know how to just compile them. I think if I even wrote tried to write them all down, it would be impossible. There were so many great moments when they got their house in the Kryn dynasty or over there. Oh, that was so sick. Though wait, I think by the end of the story they could never return there, or did they? No, it was fine, right? They could return there. Yeah, when Ford lost his powers, that was sick too. That was crazy. What else? I don't know. When they were sailing, there's just so much cool shit. When they got their tattoos, that was very cool too. Yeah, the Traveler and Vokodo and all that, and like it being like an entity that was from the astral plane, or where was it? The astral sea. Very cool. Something that escaped the astral sea, and the whole connection with Keyless mom back to campaign 1. That was very fucking cool. There's a lot of cool stuff. The T-Rex moment. There's just so many I could bring up. It would just be me listing off moments. But also when Jester and Not did that shit where they painted the like, was it, she painted the Traveler or like graffitied the church or whatever it was, and they had to get out of there, and it was just so much chaos. There was so much chaos throughout that whole thing. But very, very cool. Very, very cool. They ended up being a very was it like stealthy group? It was almost funny how that carried over into campaign 3, where campaign 2's group was very disguised self and stealthy and a lot of things like that, and you know, using the cleric spells to be quieter and stuff. It was really like stealth heavy with a lot of their things. And then in campaign 3, stealth went right out the window like immediately in the beginning, because remember, I'm still very early in it. But yeah, very cool. All right, much love and moonlight, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.